The hamster who could fly. They said it was impossible, that a hamster was born to burrow, not to soar, that paws were made for tunnels, not clouds. But this is the story of the one who proved them wrong. This is the story of Nimbus, the hamster, who believed he could fly. Nimbus was different from the beginning. While other hamsters were content running on wheels or stuffing their cheeks with sunflower seeds, Nimbus would lie on his back, gaze at the ceiling fan spinning above, and dream. He'd watch birds through the window. He'd press his tiny paws against the glass and whisper. One day, his human, a 10-year-old girl named Lily, adored him. She called him her furry little astronaut. Every night before bed, Lily would read him books, fairy tales, adventures, even science fiction. But one story changed everything. The boy who grew wings. As Lily read aloud, Nimbus sat up straighter. His eyes sparkled. He didn't just want wings in a story. He wanted them in real life. That night, Nimbus made a decision. He was going to fly. He didn't know how. He didn't know when, but he believed. And sometimes belief is the first step to the impossible. Nimbus began to prepare. While Lily was at school, he explored every inch of her bedroom. He built a small glider out of a popsicle stick, a gum wrapper, and a birthday balloon he found under her bed. It didn't work. He fell twice, but he got up. He tried again. He studied birds. He timed the breeze from the open window. He watched paper planes float across the room during Lily's science projects, and then he found it in an old toy drone. Broken, dusty, forgotten. Its wings were cracked, but its frame perfect. Nimbus squeaked with excitement. He had a plan. With tooth and claw, thread and tape, Nimbus worked. For days, he snuck scraps from Lily's craft drawer, feathers from a pillow, tiny rubber bands, the broken drone blades. Piece by piece, his dream took shape, and finally it was ready. He called it the Skysquick 1. It was clumsy. It was crooked. But to Nimbus it was beautiful. The launch pad, Lily's bookshelf, 7 feet above the ground to a hamster. It was like a cliff. One gust of wind from the open window. One shot. He climbed. His tiny feet shook, but his heart was steady. To the edge. He paused. The world was big. The fall was real, but the dream was bigger. He whispered to the sky, "Let me touch the clouds." And he jumped. He soared. Not long, not far, but long enough, far enough. Just a few glorious seconds of lift, of floating, of freedom. The Skysquick glided toward the bed, wobbled, dipped, and crashed right into a pile of Lily's pillows. He wasn't hurt. He was laughing in his own squeaky way, because for those few seconds he flew that night, Lily found the wreckage, and then she found the footage. Her security camera's silly toy she'd set up to spy on her hamster had caught the whole thing. The launch, the glide, the crash. She gasped. Then she smiled. "Nimbus, you flew." The next day, the world found out. Lily posted the video. It went viral. Hamster builds flying machine and actually takes off. Millions watched. Millions cheered. Scientists laughed. Then we watched aerospace. Engineers emailed. Kids drew fan art. Nimbus was a hero. But for Nimbus, it wasn't enough, because in his heart, he didn't want a one-time flight. He wanted the sky.so. He trained harder. Lily helped this time. They became a team. They studied wings. They tested materials. They even 3D printed tiny hamster goggles together. They built Skysquick 2 this time. The flight was smoother, longer. He soared across the bedroom, then the hallway, then the living room. Lily's parents cried. Her school principal asked for a live demo, but one offer changed everything. An invitation from the National Pet Science Expo. Demonstrate your flying hamster to the world. Lily hesitated. It was a lot of pressure, but Nimbus squeaked, looked her in the eyes and nodded. He was ready. The day of the expo arrived. A giant auditorium, hundreds of eyes, bright lights. Lily stood at the podium. Nimbus stood beside her in a custom-built hamster flight harness. She whispered, "Are you sure?" He looked at the ramp. The drone. The sky painted on the backdrop, and he stepped forward. The crowd gasped. The engines whirred, and then Hay launched. Nimbus flew over the crowd, over the judge's table, around a hanging light fixture. He looped. He dove. He rose again, and when he finally landed gently, this time on Lily's shoulder, the room erupted. Standing ovation. Media outlets rushed the stage. He was on the front page the next day. The hamster who could fly. But Nimbus didn't care about fame. He cared about flight. He cared about the dream. And that night, back in his cage, he looked at the stars outside the window and squeaked softly. Next stop the moon. Nimbus's story didn't end at the expo. He inspired an entire generation. Children started hamster flight clubs. Engineers built tiny gliders. A toy line launched. Sky Squeak Adventures. Lily wrote a book, Nimbus, the little pilot who could. And every time someone doubted themselves, they remembered the tiny, brave hamster who took a leap and touched the sky. And now, dear viewer, if you've ever felt like your dream was too big, too silly, too impossible, remember Nimbus. Remember the bookshelf, the broken drone, the crash landing, and the second try. And the third. Remember that flight begins with a leap. In the comments, tell us, what's your impossible dream, and what would your first leap look like? Like this video if you believe that even the smallest can soar. Share this story with someone who needs a lift. Subscribe to our channel, The Hamster's Journey, for more stories that fly beyond the expected. And never forget, your paws weren't made to dig holes. They were made to hold the wind.